it, hey? Oh, Paimon wonders how they're doing. Maybe we should go check on them.
The sun feels almost as hot as those studio lights I'm in front of all the time. Good thing there can only be one sun.
Lynette? Freminet? How are you feeling?
Much better.
Whew, what a relief!
What about you? Are you feeling alright?
I knew you'd come out unscathed. Us, on the other hand, well, we've been bedridden for 2 days. I couldn't even turn over. Oh, and I wanted to ask, is Clairvy gone? Lyney and the other members have left Poisson and returned to the House of the Hearth. According to him, there haven't been any more sightings of a spirit roaming the house.
I see.
I'm glad. Father came to check up on us 2 days ago and told us about what happened with Crusabina and Clairvy. Actually, I've met Crusabina before.
Wait, what? You've met the former knave?
Crusabina died a year after Clairvy. It was during the year between their deaths that I joined the House of the Hearth. Crusabina had an extremely cruel and radical way of doing things. While she was alive, the atmosphere in the house was suffocating. When I joined, though, the experiment she valued so much had already come to an end, and all the people involved, dead and injured alike, were gone. A couple of months after I joined, Father killed Crusabina and burned all her files. With that, the names of all the people subjected to her experiments, Clairvy included, were lost to the flames, along with the...
Father took in Lyney and me a couple months after that, but she never mentioned anything about Crusabina or Clairvy.
It really seems like something she was planning to keep to herself. The last time you talked to her, did she mention why she kept it a secret for so long?
She said she didn't want us to be affected by the darkness of the past. She was worried we'd develop a false sense of gratitude towards her if we knew about it. The foundation of a family should be free of any corrupting influence. Whatever happened in the past, it has nothing to do with who we are now. And that's what Father told us in the end.
But I still thanked her for everything. It was only after hearing about what Crusabina did that I finally realized how insignificant our lives could have been. The members of the house meant nothing to her. To say that she valued them in any way, even just as a tool, would probably be giving her too much credit. If Father hadn't taken over the House of the Hearth, I probably would have already...
Father rarely brings up the fact that she saved us. She doesn't believe that being indebted to her should be what ties us together. But even if we didn't owe her anything, we would still choose to stay. Because this is our home. We may have arguments or times when we feel wronged. Some people may even choose to leave. But as long as Father is here, we will always have a home.
Whether the path before us is bathed in sunlight or shrouded in shadow, we'll follow Father wherever she chooses to go. So I wanted to say thank you for helping us make it through this crisis. Without your help, we could have lost a lot more along the way.
Oh, we didn't do anything, really.
Of course, You're welcome anytime.
Are Filio and Nantoy okay?
I actually saw them at a cafe this morning. They didn't recognize me. From what I could tell, they were drinking coffee and talking about one of the operas that started running recently. They seemed happy. If I had to take a guess, I would say they finally found the kind of life they always wished for.
Take a guess.
Perfect. It's you two. I have a commission here that has your names written all over it.
The only ones for the job? Huh. If our help is really that important, it's probably some Archon class commission, right?
The Adventurers Guild doesn't employ that kind of classification system. In fact, this commission is also probably not nearly as intimidating as what you're expecting. All it asks us to do is to find a missing person.
Huh? Then why did you say we were the only ones for the job?
I came across this commission while reviewing our backlog not too long ago. It seems simple, but our records indicate that over a dozen successive efforts to complete it have all ended in failure, despite attempts by several accomplished and renowned adventurers. With the reputation of the Adventurers Guild and the performance of the Sumeru branch at stake, it's in our best interest to assign this commission to the adventurer with the highest completion rate over the past few years.
Well, that's us for sure.
All I'm asking is for you to give it your best shot. If it proves to be beyond your capabilities as well, I'll talk to the commissioner about canceling the commission.
Okay, so who are we looking for? And what is it about this commission that's made it so hard to complete?
This commission was jointly issued by the residents of Vimara Village. They say one of their own villagers has gone missing. But the problem is, they don't know the missing person's name. They can only provide information about his general appearance.
They're all from the same village, but they don't even know his name? If so many adventurers have failed to complete this commission, maybe this missing villager doesn't exist at all. Could it be some sort of a prank or something?
Unlikely. Several villagers came by to issue the commission, and judging by their appearance and tone of voice, they seemed incredibly sincere. It certainly didn't seem like a joke to them. Besides, putting up a commission requires a processing fee. There aren't many upsides to a prank that costs Mora to carry out. In any case, it would probably be best to go to Vimara Village and ask around first. The Adventurers Guild does have some information on hand, but I would say anything you can learn directly from the villagers would be far more reliable. The best way to avoid misdirection is to go to the source.
All right then, let's go! Paimon's starting to get really curious about this whole thing. To Vimara Village! Why don't we talk to some of the villagers to learn a little bit more about the missing guy? If this commission is really as challenging as Catherine made it out to be, we're gonna need to carry out a very detailed investigation.
Hello there. You looking to buy something? I do business in this area.
Oh, no, we're adventurers. Catherine sent us to look into a commission here in Vimara Village.
Ah, so you're here about that then. Ah, you're not the first, that's for sure. We've certainly made a lot of trouble for you all. To be honest, we aren't holding out much hope. Many adventurers have made their way out here, confident they'd be able to. We've pretty much had it up to here in questions, and the area around the village is.
So, this person we're looking for, what's his name?
I don't know. I really have no.
Okay, guess.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sound short with you. I was actually just giving you my answer to your questions. I know it may seem like we don't have anything to offer by way of information, but I promise you, we just don't know the specifics. Maybe we did at one point, but that information, at least that's what everyone in the village seems to think.
All right, specifics aside then.
Young guy, in his early 20s probably. Incredibly kind, sort of. I'd chat with him when I didn't have any customers. I even saw him stick out his...
Now that you've started talking about him, you don't seem nearly as down in...
But of course, everyone in the village is pretty fond of him. There aren't many young people like him nowadays. So genuine and pure.
Could he have just moved away?
No, he's not the type to leave without saying goodbye. And anyway...
All right, thanks for the information.
Shouldn't have happened.
Is that guests I hear?
Hi, Grandpa Amadea. We're here to help you look for the guy that's gone missing.
Ah, so that's what brings you to these parts. Coming all this way for our sake. That's so very kind of you. With your help, I trust that young man's case is in good hands.
Could you tell us a bit about him?
Of course. I'm happy to help any way I can. With my failing eyesight, I'm afraid I can't offer much about his... I don't think his parents are still living in the village. But somehow he never seemed lonely. He would often take time to visit the elderly, or play with... And whenever someone had something on their mind, he was there to listen with... As the village chief, I owe him many thanks, helping villagers navigate difficult moments.
Wow. He seems like such a nice and gentle person. No wonder his disappearance affected you all so much. But, you wouldn't happen to know any details about his name, address, or...
I'm ashamed to admit it, but I just can't remember.
It's okay. There's no need to force yourself to try and remember. We'll figure something out. Well, Traveler, what do you think? Paimon thinks so too. Like, the name, and nobody has been able to tell us anything about his family or where he lived? Wait, so you're saying it's not that he... Okay, Paimon's gonna need some time to process that one.
You two are the adventurers who just arrived, right?
Yep, sure are. We were just looking into the case.
I'm so glad to hear that. Thank goodness you haven't given up. My name is Atosa, by the way. I grew up here in Vimara Village. Anyway...
Yeah, no need to worry. We'll give it our best shot. So, were you close?
I'm not sure this counts as...
Is this the place? Under this tree?
Yep. I know it doesn't look like much, but this place is very meaningful to me. It's so full of memory. We used to always sit together under this tree and talk. Sometimes we would look up at the clouds in the sky or stop to feel the wind against our skin. I was actually adopted by the people of Vimara Village. The forest rangers found me in the woods as a child. I was surrounded by such good people, and growing up in the village was so lively.
Alone?
How should I put it? When something's bothering you, or when you have good news to share, you always want to talk about it with... Everyone has their own problems to deal with. Even if I might want to confide in others, I don't want to become a burden. Really? You know exactly how I feel?
Aww.
Wow, that sounds really nice. You're quite lucky. When it comes to our missing villager, no matter what came my way, I knew I could always talk to him. He was so thoughtful and pure, and patient, too. Ever since he disappeared, there's been so much I wanted to tell him. No, none of those things matters now. I just really want to see him again.
Wow, you two must have been really close. Did he ever tell you anything about himself?
He mostly just talked about interesting things he saw around the village. He'd share a lot of his own wild ideas as well. Oh, right! I did ask him about his parents once. But all he said was, they're not here anymore. I didn't know whether that meant they had left the village or passed away, and I didn't want to pry.
Still not much to go off of.
Look at me. Talking your ear off and still nothing to show for it. I'm sorry I wasn't more help. The last time I talked this much in one go was when we were still together. Come to think of it, every time we talked, it always seemed time always passed by really slowly. Even when it felt like we'd been talking.
Well, time always seems to pass slower when you're relaxed, right? What's wrong, Traveler? Hey, look at those hilichurls over there. The Abyss Order. Uh-oh, we've been spotted! Quick, get ready to fight!
Shower me with praise! Let my name echo in song! Strike a pose!
There is no escape!
This is trouble!
Make yourselves a move! Let's wait for you.
Yoo-hoo!
Illusion shattered! Torn to oblivion!
How brilliant!
Thank you so much. I wasn't expecting monsters to show up.
It was no trouble.
Now that I think about it, they seem agitated and would often attack anything in sight. Chief Amadeus.
Maybe the Abyss Order. Well, we should head back and check out the situation in Vimaraville. Wait a second. That person. It's Dainsleif!
Ah, it's you two.
Oh, a friend of yours? Well, I'll leave you all to it then. I should head back to the village and check up on Chief Amadeus.
Yep, see you later, Atosa! Why do you always have to pop up out of nowhere like that? Is it your life's mission to jump scare us or something?
It's hardly personal, or intentional for that matter. As long as you and I are both in pursuit of the Abyss Order, we're bound to cross paths.
Ah, so you're here to investigate the Abyss Order then. That would explain the monsters you were fighting just now.
Naturally. Hold on. Are you not here for the same purpose? No matter. It may have taken you a while to catch on, but I'm sure you've also realized by now. The Abyss Order is most certainly planning something in this area. Or worse, their plan could already be in motion.
So you think the Abyss Order is behind the Hilichurl activity in the area?
As things stand, I highly doubt that is their primary motive. I would imagine the increased Hilichurl activity is merely a byproduct of whatever.
Still, the Hilichurl activity is causing a lot of problems for the people here.
The best way to protect them is by figuring out what the Abyss Order is truly planning. That is how we prevent further tragedy. And you shall have them. I never intended to hide anything. Don't worry. There should be ample time to talk. Ah, so that was the commission that brought you here to Vimara Village. Someone who seems to only exist in people's memories. That is indeed quite It appears all we have by way of clues is increased Hilichurl activity. And that is certainly not much to go off of.
Right! That mysterious voice she heard in her brother's memory. The one who
Traveler, let me ask you this. Do you believe your sibling to have betrayed you? I sense hesitation in your words. After all, you still haven't figured out the whole truth of what happened. There's still hope for the two of you to reconcile. Irreparable damage has not yet been done. The sinner you wish to know about, his situation is different. He and his fellow sinners have long betrayed me, and long betrayed their nation. His name is Vedrfolnir. The Vision, I'm loath to admit it, but he is also my kin, my older brother.
Your brother?
There were 5 of them, the 5 sinners of Khaenri'ah. The wise Roptatyr, the visionary Vedrfolnir, Gold Rhine-daughter, the foul Surtalogi, and Rehir of Solnari, Rerir. No matter how eroded my memory may become, I will never forget their names. One day, I shall have my vengeance.
Wait, some of those names sound really familiar. Rhine-daughter is the one who created Albedo. Surtalogi is Skirk's master. And the one we just learned about, Dane's brother, Vedrfolnir. If he was the voice of the sinner, then the one who inspired Clothar to create the Abyss Order was him?
They were once people of great esteem in Khaenri'ah. Those who carried the hopes of the nation. 6 of us. Together. We should have been the ones to prevent the disaster. The ones to stop the Vinster King from continuing to rock the foundation of the world. Yet, deep within, the 5 of them craved something more. They could not resist the call, so they became sinners, but also transcendent beings. And when the cataclysm occurred, not one of them stood up in defense of their nation. Not one. Indeed, if they are not stopped, the day is sure to come when they will also, of course. As I said, I never intended to hide anything from you.
So, Dane, what have you been looking into all this time?
I've continued to investigate the questions surrounding the Loom of Fate. By retrieving the eye of the first field tiller, we were able to stop part of their plan from coming to fruition.
Oh, Paimon remembers! Weren't they going to use it to corrupt Dosile and make a god or something?
Indeed. However, it's obvious that was just some sort of technique. The eye was integral to their plan, yet somehow, despite failing, there are many signs pointing to that effect.
Then, what should we do?
Our most pressing concern is to determine the purpose of the Loom of Fate. From there, we'll be able to based on the intel I've gathered so far, I suspect the Loom of Fate is related to the ley lines in some way.
The ley lines?
Traveler, You were able to observe your siblings' My recent investigation has shown that Abyss Order activity in a particular...
Wait! Then our commission here in Vamara Village. The person who seemed...
It's certainly possible. I'll join your investigation tomorrow. This missing persons case could very well turn out to be...
Well, if we're teaming up with Dane again, we're gonna need all the energy we can get. Let's try investigating some... Oh, so tired. Paimon, well, let's go find Dane. We've got a lot to do to...
May I present?
Dane? Hello, Dane? Why are you just zoning out over here? Did something happen?
The missing person from your commission. Could you describe them to me?
Oh, young guy? Early 20s? Seriously, Dane, what's going on?
There appear to be certain memories in my mind that... memories of him.
Maybe...
No, it wasn't a dream. And I'm certain I've never met this person before. I remember handing him the eye of the first field tiller.
What? Okay, so this missing person definitely has something to do with the Abyss Order then!
Indeed. And it appears he possesses the ability to...
Wait then. All the memories the villagers have of him, could they be fake? But why would he do something like that?
Whatever the Abyss Order is planning, an important truth has been revealed to us
What sort of truth?
that their goal is still to obtain the eye of the first field tiller. They haven't stopped searching for it. I am the only person who knows its location. Perhaps implanting that particular Your concerns are not entirely unfounded. I don't believe... However, considering their single-minded pursuit of the eye, come with me. We must check whether the eye is still in our...
Oh, so you're going to take us to where you hid it?
Of course.
So you hid it way out here? Not an easy place to discover, that's for sure. Well, let's go check to see if it's safe.
Traveler, wait. We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
Hey, wait up! Is it time for me to join you?
Stop that! Let the world collide! Shower me with praise! Stop that!
Shine down!
Yoo-hoo! Stop that! How dare you!
It appears the mechanisms here have changed over time. You can access the upper floor through the side door. Perhaps you should try reactivating the mechanism over there.
The Shelby...
Illusion shattered! Sakura swirl!
Make sure all the runes are pointing in the direction indicated by the light. That should unlock the mechanism. The door's open. Let's go. Our destination is just up ahead.
Looks like we can't go any further.
Be on your guard. I sense the presence of the Abyss.
It's the Abyss Order! They're here!
Shine down!
Time to shine! Time to go!
I see Dominion!
Illusion shattered!
Conquers all!
May I present...
Just as I suspected. The false memories were a trap. The Abyss Order just wanted to follow us here. Now that they're in the vicinity, we should have a chance to see...
Dane? What's wrong?
Can you feel that? There's been a disturbance.
Wow, you must be really sensitive to that sort of thing. Paimon doesn't feel it.
You too. Do as I say. Use that mechanism over there and leave this place. The Abyss Order is putting something in motion. If you return to Vimara Village, just think of it as a way to divide and... I knew going along with your trap would be the only way to meet with you face to face.
You risked your safety, and that of the Eye. That's quite the gamble, Dainsleif. But I believe that I am the one walking into a trap laid by the Twilight Sword.
So you came here all on your own? What about those followers of yours?
When the Twilight Sword is prepared for battle, any army I could send would only be marching to their doom. Better that I face you alone. I know you must have a lot to say, but if it's a conversation you want, you'll have to defeat me first.
The Abyss Order's on the move! The ley lines are all out of whack! We better hurry back to Vimara Village and see what's going on! Hey, look at those hilly trails over there! Weren't they acting super agitated just a little while ago? Why are they...
In the New World, they bade farewell to the shrouded sun. At last, they no longer needed, such was the price they paid.
Did you hear that? What was that? It sounded so gentle. Oh, this is weird. Let's check... Looks like the same thing is happening over here, too.
You see, we've reclaimed an endless amount of time. Release your tears.
Over there. It looks like they're sleeping.
In the end, he whispered, softly. Sleep well, Father. Sleep well, my beloved people. When you awake, that which differentiates us shall be no more.
It almost sounds like a poem or some kind of story. Well, now that the hilly trails have calmed down, Vimara Village should be safe at least. Let's put this situation to the side for now. Dane said this might be our chance to find the missing villager, so we should head back to Vimara Village before it's too late.
Huh?
Grandpa Medea, is everyone all right? The Abyss Order seems to be up to something nearby.
The Abyss Order? This is the first I'm hearing of it. Thank you for your concern, but as far as I'm aware, it's been business as usual here in the village.
Well, that's good to hear. Oh, also, you didn't happen to come across any clues about the missing villager while we were gone, did you?
Someone's gone.
Huh? Well, you know, the young guy from Vimara Village. The one you... That's kind of the whole reason we're here, actually.
Ah, I do apologize. At least right now, I can't seem to recall whatever it is.
But how is that? Something's definitely not right. We just talked to Grandpa Ahmed. What do you think, Traveler? Could everyone's memories of the missing villager have been erased again? You're right. We should narrow down the possibilities for...
research.
Someone's gone missing? Who?
Just as expected. That guy you said a bunch of nice things. He's around 20 years old, and you said he was a...
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Really? You remember?
There aren't many young people who've earned that kind of praise from me. Then there's only one person who fits the bill. No doubt about it. But why'd you say he's gone missing? Yeah, I just saw him leave the village.
Strange. Bayram seems to remember him. And apparently he... Do you think maybe it's not that there's something wrong with people's memory?
Just like what happened with Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, no one If this person only exists in people...
Right! Paimon totally forgot about the ley line disturbances. We're in someone else's memory. Just like how you entered your sibling's memory last time. That would also explain why we seem to be at a time before he went missing. It's a memory after all. Right. If he's someone who only exists in people... But didn't Bayron just say that he saw him leave the... Who knows how long this ley line disturbance is gonna last? We might not have that... Good idea! That'll help us narrow things down. We pretty much figured out that the missing villager has the ability to... Right! That! Can we try to figure out more about him using... Like, does it maybe leave a trace that would somehow give him away?
All the memories seem to be set in or near Vimara village. If time was allowed to pass within the false memories, there's a difference between memories that arise from lived experiences and those that are implanted into the mind. Perhaps it has something to do with time. No.
No wonder! All this time and the sky hasn't changed a bit! That must mean time isn't passing! That's the tell of the fake memories! The implanted memories are basically taking place outside of the regular 24 hours of the day. If the memories included the regular passage of time, it would be easy for people, like there could be overlap or something. People might start to wonder why. That's why he makes sure the memories take place at a specific moment in time rather than...
The color of the sky coincides with the Dainsleif had memories implanted. No. We thought Chief Amadea forgot about... No.
Oh, right! That's exactly what Atosa described!
Come to think of it, every time we talked, it always seemed to be around dusk, just like right now. Time always passed by really slowly. Even when it felt like we'd been talking for hours, the sun would still be at the same position in the sky.
Yep, that has to be it! This is definitely Atosa's memory. Yeah, that's where they'll be!
There's no rush.
So, you see, Granny Jahiet was a mercenary when she was younger. She just talks like, oh, there I go again. Always talking about my own things. It's okay if you don't.
Oh, I think you're an incredibly strong. You'll meet many amazing people and live a very happy life. You won't miss someone like me.
Huh? Are those your friends over there?
Oh, right. This version of Atosa hasn't met us yet.
Friends? I guess you could say that. It must have taken them a lot of effort to find me. So, I should see what they need. I'm sorry.
Another time, huh? Yeah, okay. I'll...
It's nice to see you, Traveler. I believe this is the first time we've met.
Dane's brother, one of the 5 sinners of Conria. The founder of the Abyss Order. Born into abject sorrow, he shall now become the Loom of Fate. Born into abject sorrow. You're... Caribert Alberic.
Oh. You know me? That's quite the surprise. I don't believe I've met you before. Oh, I see. It was the memory, wasn't it? Your sibling's memory. This is Atosa's memory. But I suppose I'll just leave her a message instead. Come, let's find... I suppose you could call it the realm of my consciousness. It's nothing. I still have enough strength to play the part of a good host. Extreme sorrow and pain. Hope and regret course. Father told me that once I possessed all those elements, but despite his intentions for me, in truth, I died the moment I set everything in motion. The person you see before you now is nothing. As for your question, the Loom of Fate is in its primitive form. It can only be used to create and implant memories. But once fully completed, the moment it gains the power to weave ley lines, it loses the lower level but it also becomes a tool that can change the entire world. Yes. I have the ability to control the loom in its after all. Its existence cost. That. I was wrong to implant those. I just wanted them to feel like I want, as if... I know what you must be thinking. Why would I do something so meaning? But I just couldn't accept it. I had to know what it would be like if I had my own life. What kind of person I would be. What other people would think of me. Chief Ahmadiyya, Baram, Granny Jahiyat, Atosa. What would it be like if I could live alongside them? No cataclysm, no curse. Just a quiet life in a peaceful village. I was curious, so I selfishly, even if that meant piecing together the version of myself that could have been, one memory at a time. I know it sounds stupid. After all, my life ended a long time ago. Any chance at living was stripped away from me when I was 8 years old. My consciousness left to mature in an illusory world of nothingness. Even the form you see before you was nothing but an invention based on my father's appearance. An imagined version of what I would look like if I had the chance to grow up. I know. But there's nothing I can do to make them find me. If I could exist in the real world, I would return without a second thought and surprise them with the suddenness of it all. But I know. Captain Dainsleif. Twilight Sword, you mean? No need to meet up with him. Things should already be settled on his end. Exactly. As someone who could only exist in people's memories, the fact that I'm able to talk to you in my consciousness like this can only mean one thing. The Loom of Fate has already been completed. No need to worry about Captain Dainsleif. He's absolutely fine. The only reason he lost the eye was because I happened to guess exactly what he was planning. Captain Dainsleif has had the eye inside his body this whole time, hasn't he? His plan was to lure the Abyss Order to a false location, capitalizing on their pursuit. He would then hand the eye to you and tell you to take it away from that location. That way, Captain Dainsleif could accomplish his own goal and ensure the safety of the eye all at once. That's right. Because in his mind, before you two entered that false location.
Traveler, wait. We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
That was when I implanted the memory of him handing you the eye. Given the tense situation at that time, Captain Dainsleif failed to notice anything out of the ordinary, and took that memory to be real. I'm sorry, Traveler, but I needed the Loom of Fate to be completed. And to do that, we had to retrieve the eye. I promise I'm not trying to conceal anything from you, but I truly have no idea what the Prince is planning. Tevat's ley line system is deeply entrenched in the planet. Creating new ley lines can neither replace nor extend the ones that already exist. In the face of everything they could be planning, I fear I'm too insignificant to even get a glimpse of the bigger picture. In any case, I had my own use for the Luma. You remember my father, don't you? Clothar Alberic. I believe you saw him in your sibling's memory. After he used the power of the Abyss to restore consciousness to my hilichurl form, I suffered from an indescribable level of mental anguish. To comfort me, my father told me a story, that this was a fairy tale world where I had to take on the form of a little monster. That story managed to dispel my fears, even if just for a moment. My goal was simple: to use the Loom of Fate in its near-completed form, when its ability to create memories was at its strongest, to implant a specific memory into the minds of the hilichurls. In that memory, I would tell them a story, just like my father did for me. It was a story of fairy tales and love. But more than anything, it was the story of us. I can't change the world. Not when I lost the very right to exist within it. All that's left of my existence is a wisp of residual consciousness tied to the Loom of Fate. In truth, that trace of my consciousness should have dissipated long ago. My goal was the one thing that allowed me to hold on all this time, but now, the bedtime story is finished. And it's finally time to rest.
Looks like I was too late to see Caribear one last time. Caribear's consciousness is gone, and this space will soon disappear along with it. Neither of us belongs here. That's why we're not tangible. Were that not the case, I'd love to hug you too. Well, how about a conversation? The chance to just stop and talk like this is certainly not easy to come by. Wouldn't you agree? That battle earlier was tough. The one against Dane, I mean. I didn't expect that after everything, he would still hesitate to raise his sword against me. Were it not for that, perhaps I'd still be no match for the Twilight Sword. Even the Loom of Fate, huh? I still haven't found a way to utilize it to its full potential. But there's still time. Before the heavenly principles awaken. Yes, for 500 years now, ever since the cataclysm in Khaenri'ah, there's been no sign of activity. Not long ago, You witnessed the Hydro Archon destroy her divine throne, yes? Such a flagrant disregard for the rules, and still Celestia took no action. However, the heavenly principles will awaken. We just don't know when that will be, or what might trigger it. You could say that. Just look at Caribert. He was so pure and single-minded. The space we now find ourselves is a perfect representation of who he was. Quiet and peaceful, even as a hilly churl. Seeing the terrible sight within the mirror wasn't enough to taint his spirit. He brought comfort to the people of this world, even though he was denied the very right to be a part of it. So ask yourself this. Who was it that deprived him of that right to exist? Of course, that's only one example. My feelings about the heavenly principles are too complicated to explain in just a few words. Lumine?
You're the only one in this world who calls me that. There's so much I wanted to ask you. But for some reason, I'm not interested in asking those questions right now. There's just one thing I have to ask. One thing I could never understand. Why? Why can't we continue our journey together?
At the end of my journey, I arrived at a place known as the Sea of Flowers at the end. Do you remember? A long time ago, when we traveled between worlds together. You told me you wanted to find a place in the universe where that one flower was in full bloom. To have a place like that suddenly appear before me? Well, would you think of that as a coincidence?
You mean?
I miss you too, Lumine. But as this war continues to rage, and as I continue to seek that final answer, I don't even know how to face myself sometimes. Let alone my own sister.
What's going on?
This space has lost its tether. I doubt it'll be able to exist much longer. In fact, aside from our ability to physically interact with each other, there's something else you should know about this space. With Caribert gone, we won't be able to remember anything that happened here. Everything in this space will be wiped from existence, including all memory of our reunion.
You're only telling me this now?
Still so sleepy. Paimon woke up a little earlier than you, so Paimon will fill you in. The villagers said that they saw us sleeping near the village yesterday. Oh, and Dane came by just now. It looked like he was injured. He didn't say anything, though. Just made sure that you were all right and left. Kinda seemed like he had a lot on his mind, but that's, Let's think for a second. We were in that memory. He was the missing villager that we've been trying to find, right? And after that, Paimon doesn't remember what happened. Wait, really? Well, what happened after that?
Ah, there you are. Sleep well?
Bayram? You sure seem happy. Did something good happen?
Something good? Huh. Wasn't anything good or bad, I'd say. It's just that, well, the village organized another search party yesterday. So there we were, searching away, when suddenly according to him, one day around dusk, he was passing by this one tree. There he was, sleeping under that tree all by himself. His parents came up, and after that, well, we all started to feel like that really is what happened. Oh, and we also remembered his name, Curry Bear. Now, that's not a name you hear every day. Would have been helpful if we remembered it sooner. Well, I hope he's happy wherever he is, and we're all relieved to know.
Seems like everyone thinks Curry Bear left the village. That's probably for the best. At least they have some sort. Paimon wonders how Atosa's doing. Paimon didn't see her in the village just now, so she's...
Oh, it's you two. I was part of the search party, so honestly, I just can't believe I forgot something so important. It's funny, but I guess it doesn't really matter anyway. Life is made up of a series. I'm just happy I got to meet him. Okay, I'll admit. I was dumped, wasn't I? Otherwise, why would he just leave like that without saying goodbye? You don't need to... It's just like Curry Bear said. It's the things we overcome, and you know, if he has a heart... Anyway, thanks for all your hard work, you two.
Well, that should be it, right? Everyone's lives... Oh, right! Weren't you about to tell Paimon what happened after your... A picture? Where? Huh?